Most geckos don't have eyelids at all. They lick their own eyeballs to keep them moist. Leopard geckos are different. They actually blink. The scientific name is Eublepharis, and it translates to good eyelid. Whoever first described this species was clearly proud enough of that eyelid to build it right into the name. That same distinction is what has me stuck on how these things ever got classified as geckos in the first place. Regular geckos have wide, bulbous toe pads that let them stick to walls and ceilings. Leopard geckos have claws instead. They're ground scurriers, not climbers, built more for dry grassland than glass. I went down a rabbit hole last night, around midnight, trying to find out how scientists landed on gecko for an animal with eyelids, claws instead of pads, and ground-dwelling habits. Instead of calling it something new entirely, I never found a solid answer. If anybody out there knows, I'd like to hear it. Their tails are full of stored fat, and that matters when a predator grabs hold. A leopard gecko under attack will actively amputate its own tail to get away. That's an extreme measure for survival. The tail does grow back, but it doesn't come back the same. The new tail grows in stumpier and blunter, and it isn't nearly as flexible or mobile as the original. It has to regrow fast too, because that tail is the fat reserve they depend on. Me too. Little lizard. Me too. Leopard geckos are also heat sensitive during development, and the window for producing a male is oddly narrow. There's one specific moment, not the whole incubation, not when the egg gets laid, not when it hatches, when the molecules line up and lock in the sex of the animal. If that moment happens below 79 degrees Fahrenheit or above 93 degrees, you get a female. The male window sits between 80 and 92 degrees, and the odds of a male peak in the middle of that range and drop off fast toward either edge. That narrow window is exactly why, if you spot a leopard gecko in the wild, you can pretty safely assume it's female. People have been domesticating these animals since the 1960s, making them one of the first reptiles anyone bred in captivity on purpose. Though I'm not totally sure domesticated is the right word. They're dry grassland animals, not true desert dwellers, and they're nocturnal, sleeping through the heat of the day and scurrying out at night to hunt. They're purely insectivores, eating bugs and the occasional small animal. That fits in their mouth and nothing else. Their brains are about the size of a pea, a small pea at that, and their whole thought process seems to run on 4 settings. Food or not food, mate or not mate, water or not water, danger or not danger. There are stretches of most days where that's about the extent of my own thought process too, so I can't judge them for it. Because they breed so well in captivity, breeders have spent decades stacking up color variations. There are 3 genetically distinct albino strains, a patternless blizzard morph, and a tangerine or vermilion strain that breeds true. So you could stock an entire tank with nothing but vermilion geckos. Some come in solid black, and their eyes shift color depending on the environment around them. Fill one tank with tangerine geckos, and another with black vermilion ones, with little jack-o'-lantern markings and flaming skulls. And you've built Halloween Town in a terrarium. I sketched this one from the little toy, pulled out of the random object box this morning. And I'm not entirely sure my wife would go for a pet gecko in the house, a vermilion one, though might be worth the argument.